right, guys, we're Tastosis, and this is game number 1 in the Intel Extreme Masters Finals for Starcraft 2 here in Gyeonggi in the north. In the red, our Terran player, he is INnoVation. And his opponent here in the south, in the blue, our Protoss player hungry to win a finals, it's Stats.
Oh, tasteless.
Oh, Tosis.
This has been a lovely 5 days of StarCraft 2 games.
It has been.
The first of the 2017 season. Yes, we're still in 2016, but the new season has begun, and one of these guys is jumping out to a gigantic lead over everyone else.
It's going to be very interesting if Stats manages to beat INnoVation here. You were saying earlier, Tosis, you think INnoVation is the favorite. I think most people couldn't really disagree with that, not just from his previous results, but also from the way he's playing here in this tournament. He's got very good control. He definitely has his own style and way of approaching a lot of these different matchups, and it seems like currently this is his patch to win in StarCraft 2.
It really does feel that way. He's just on fire right now. You know, I think back to the series that we saw already between Stats and INnoVation, that INnoVation won 2-1. Truthfully, Tasteless, he could have won that 3-0. He really made a mistake moving his entire army to try to deal with one Dark Templar, and Stats jumped on him because of it on that Echo game. And if he hadn't done that, he was ahead, and I feel like he would have been able to close that one out. But Stats is a fearsome competitor, so if you do give him an in, he will take it and kill you because of it.
That's right. By the way, real quick here, that intro that we had here for this finals, the Intel Extreme Masters, was amazing.
That was a fantastic intro. It's been a while since we've seen something that cool in StarCraft.
And this stage we've got down here, I got to say, OGN did a really good job with this setup. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm very excited that we're starting off all the placing matches, beginning that momentum with this new patch here for StarCraft 2 here in Korea with players that are this great, that are this good. And it's going to be a fantastic 2017. And I know that 2016, just for the world in general, was horrible. But I would say, you know what, it was really fun for StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it definitely was.
And I think this year is, this upcoming year is going to be even better.
Hopefully
for the world as well.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the world as well.
That's
but,
right.
Certainly for StarCraft, it's just getting better and better right now. Somehow, some way, after the game's been out this long, it continues to improve. But all right, let's take a look here. Looks like the tech has finally started, and after pushing out that Reaper, he does have a Stargate on the way. So probably just going to have a quick Oracle out there. And here's what's interesting to me. Does he go into Phoenixes afterwards? Because Vani is a map where eventually the Terran wants to kill you because you're so spread out that he will just doom drop your back natural. That back natural is so far away, it's so inconvenient to have units over there. So sometimes we see Protoss players make a lot of Phoenixes on this map to try to stop that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Due to the fact that you expand to the bottom right and then the upper left, there's a lot of very tempting locations where you can cluster drop anywhere. And if they're not in the right position, and that's very easy to outposition Protoss, especially in mid-game there, you can punish them. So it looks like your assumption there was correct. He is starting to bank up some Phoenixes.
Yeah.
We'll see if these are used at all for offensive purposes. I guess no matter what, you can always send Phoenixes out to poke. But I think functionality-wise, this is really there as a deterrent for too many medevacs coming in at various locations and punishing the opposing player.
You know, it's kind of interesting that, in fact, he skipped the Oracle. So he's just going directly into probably Phoenix Adept. The one thing that is worrisome about that is that every time anyone has tried this against INnoVation, he has basically gone like 5 or 6 Widow Mines with a bunch of bio and some medevacs, following it up with Liberators rallied across the map, and crushed free wind even, Tasteless, free wins at this level of play with that strategy, with that timing attack against this type of build.
By the way, look at the timing coming out here. Now, we already talked a little bit about the fact that in mid-game and later game, you could definitely do these massive drops in various locations where Protoss isn't ready, but you might as well do it at the start with your opener here. Get a pin going. If even better than a pin, start to actually do some real damage with Harass. Coming out here with these Marines in the front, he'll probably be dropping Widow Mines, either both in the main and the backyard expansion or in just one of those locations while he tries to come in here. I believe Stim is finished.
Yeah, it's just
excuse me, it just shows there on the screen. Yeah, Stim is done. So this is timed out very nicely. He wants to try at minimum to force a cancel here. And excuse me, he's not even going to split this.
Yeah.
He's saying that Protoss is overcompensating for the risk of drops, and therefore isn't in position at all.
With these units, in fact, he's hiding the Widow Mines as well. But now he can just easily drop those out if he needs to. This is a free cancel. Look at that. Wow. Canceled so easily here. The Phoenix has turned around for a moment, but then turned back around the map. And now he's having to utilize force fields even.
Oh, this is beautiful. Now, keep in mind there are Widow Mines burrowing in here, but the Observer should be coming out in a moment here, doing some nice damage over there to some of those workers. Probes taken down. No second force field here. The Sentry does go down as the push continues on. The Phoenix is coming here for the pickup. Perhaps INnoVation overextending.
Yeah, looks like everything will be cleared out. He did end up getting 7 probes.
Oh, it's a Liberator.
Oh my God.
I thought the Widow Mine might have attacked a little bit too quickly
I was
there.
like, that doesn't make sense. I only saw it get 2 before.
Yeah, exactly. No, they don't reload that fast, but with the Liberator setup down over there.
Dude, he canceled a 3rd Nexus. He got 7 probes total, and he killed the Cybernetics core. Which means now we have this period where it's like, well, do you want to build Zealots? Which stats would say, according to Todd's story, hell no.
Yeah.
You know, so this is a little bit rough right now for a Protoss player.
All right, some more gateways coming down here already. INnoVation taking this game 1 by the throat, showing it who's boss. Stats is doing a decent job right now, rotating the Phoenixes around here to try to just slow down the momentum of economic growth that INnoVation is gaining here. But for the time being, we got to point to INnoVation as the one who's dictating this game so far and is in the lead.
Certainly, you are right about that. +1 air attacks on the way for stats here, so maybe not going to slow down at all on these Phoenixes. Definitely you can go for like big death ball type compositions if you get into Colossus tech. What I'm afraid about though is how is he going to hold on when INnoVation has, again, 5-6 Widow Mines, a Bioforce, and then Liberators over it? The Phoenix Adept combo doesn't work well against that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Also, these Phoenixes being bruised, one even shaved off there in that fight. It's going to be useful to have those Phoenixes to try to keep Terran's attention in the north location of the map, but in a push from Terran, okay, it's happening right now. A push from Terran is inevitable here. And the Phoenixes head-to-head against this many Marines on the ground, there's not a ton that you can really do. Maybe if you begin to win the fight, you can come in and clean up the medevacs, try to pick up the remaining Marauders, but yeah, it's not going to be an easy task here for Stats to utilize those Phoenixes, and that's really what he invested in early on.
Exactly.
So most of his ground army is going to be pretty brittle.
All right, just a bunch of Adepts here. They do have that Glaive upgrade, so that's very important, but the Bioforce is coming in only 1 pylon here defensively. He is kind of keeping an eye on where INnoVation is, but INnoVation not going to commit quite yet. Realizes that this could be a little bit foolhardy if he just macros for another few moments here. He's going to have a much more overwhelming force.
Yeah, and I think that's a wise decision there from INnoVation to just go ahead and back up. Remember, he already got his 3rd base up much more quickly than Stats that did. And also, I think, Adepts are very handy, but the longer the game goes on, the less functionality they have against a sophisticated Terran army. I mean, the Adepts, they don't deal damage like Marine Marauder, and they can't heal up like Medevacs. Adepts are really there to put pressure early on, and then there to overwhelm an outposition later on. They're not core fighting units a lot of times in this matchup unless they have backup and more sophisticated units behind them.
Would it be wrong to call them Proaches? Like Protoss Roaches?
Yeah, they're Proaches, actually.
They're Proaches, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
and Roaches could be Zadeps.
Looks like he preemptively...
Wow.
You're great, Tasus. Preemptively sets off a couple photon overcharges, but INnoVation flies right around that. In the meantime, the Phoenix is coming in. They do get lifts on both Widow Mines. So great map awareness here by Stats, shutting that mine drop down.
Right now, INnoVation just feeling out the territory under the control here of Stats. You can see INnoVation also banking up a lot of Liberators. Now, Stats did not continue to make Phoenixes this game. He had 5 earlier. That's been knocked down to 4. But I don't know if those, the Phoenixes are going to be that handy when it comes to trying to fight these Liberators. I think it's really going to come down more to the Stalkers and Protoss knowing when he can win a battle and then seizing the moment.
Yeah, you're completely right about that. Like, these Phoenixes right now don't do much. They might tank some Viking shots and help poke back Vikings, but you're very right. Like, you try to kill a Liberator, your army will be dead before they kill Liberators. But, he's done some good defensive moves with it. He does have a 3rd base up, but you know, the third is a lot later than what he wants, and INnoVation is looking super scary. He's got a much bigger army right now.
And you can see the Phoenixes can't really, even with Liberators versus Phoenixes, they can't really contest the presence here of the Terran army. INnoVation now stimming up, moving southbound here. The Liberation zones have been set up, but the Stalker presence seems strong enough that he's going to be able to force INnoVation back.
Back he does go. A lot of Vikings out right now, though, so this game is really transitioning from what we saw in the early game. INnoVation didn't really go for that same type of strategy he used a lot against the Phoenix Adept players, and instead gone into more normal play here. But with this Phoenix Cloud, he's going to be able to easily clean out all the splash damage, which is why we see stats switching immediately into Disruptors.
Important to note, both players are expanding towards the left side of the map, so we might have a lot of direct conflict as the two armies crash together. Keep in mind, as Artosis was saying, if Terran can outposition the Protoss, Terran could pick up and go into the main or even that base in the bottom right, and that may be a moment, if INnoVation deems it necessary, he will do that.
Yeah, that is a moment that I would be surprised if we don't end up seeing. Like, the game could end in just one of these engagements, but like, that is very common on this map. Now let's see, he actually is stimming forward. He wants this engagement. Some nice microing back, kiting with all of his units, allowing his Vikings to stay and eat the shots and try to kill off the splash damage. Out comes the Disruptor Ball, but it misses.
Perfect control so far there by INnoVation, dodging that Disruptor, but with the next warp in here, the Adept's able to soak some of that damage, but pretty soon, it's going to be nothing but Stalkers here in the back. He blinks away. INnoVation has too much.
Oh, a sick Disruptor hit right there, but will that even be enough to help him out? This is a very rough situation. In fact, his fourth base will be killed off. He's lost almost his entire technical army, only a few Stalkers left over.
And denying that expansion, which INnoVation just did a moment ago, is going to allow him to possibly push forward even further. At the same time, INnoVation's going to have a lead in resources.
Oh man, he's doing a great job with this. Another good Disruptor hit, but the Gateway army is so small right now from stats, he just can't hold on against this many Marauders.
Okay, he stims down now further. Adepts being warped in, but many of them taken out before they can actually clean up the rest of this. Oh. Good control here, scanning. I think the Terran, even though it's a small army, is still enough. GG! INnoVation takes game number 1.
Wow, that was a really dominating performance from INnoVation. Stats had some cool moments of deflecting drops and even doing light Phoenix harass, but it never felt like he was ahead.
That's right. INnoVation, bigger, faster, stronger. Stats, I don't know if I disagree with how he opened, but that did not seem to be enough at any point in time in that game.